in hockey history. The Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 48 games skated. They have a record of 26, 21, and 1. 53 points, has them 12 points shy of first place, which is the Winnipeg Jets in first. We'll update the Central Division standings here momentarily. We'll also update the wild card standings. We'll be doing that on a regular basis here on the show. The Nashville Predators currently find their road record, which they are about to be on game 2 of a 3-game road trip. Their road record is now at 13, 9, and 1. They've scored 147 goals in the season. They've given up 148. That means they have a goal differential of -1 on the year. Now, I mentioned we have multiple updates and standings to talk about right here. Let's start with the Central Division. The Winnipeg Jets continue to lead in first place. They have 30 victories on the season, 11 losses, 5 overtime losses, and 65 points. They are 12 points currently ahead of the Nashville Predators. Colorado Avalanche also have 65 points, but have skated in 2 more games than the Winnipeg Jets, so they currently occupy the second spot. And the Dallas Stars have 64 points. So the 3-team weave at the top of the Central continues as Winnipeg, Colorado, and Dallas are separated first to third by 1 point. The Dallas Stars have also skated in 48 games on the season, so the Winnipeg Jets have the tiebreaker right now with 46 games skated. And you'll find the Nashville Predators at 53 points. Now listen, they are 9 points behind third place, which is an automatic qualifying playoff spot. They are currently holding a wild card spot. They are 3 points ahead now of the St. Louis Blues, who have jumped over the Arizona Coyotes into 5th place. The Coyotes in 6th place with 49 points. The Minnesota Wild in 7th place with 47 points. And the Chicago Blackhawks have finally reached the 30-point mark on the season. They are in 8th and last place in the Central, which is where they are going to remain the entire season. That's the Central Division, but this is where things start to get really intriguing. The Nashville Predators currently hold themselves a wild card spot. LA holds wild card 1, Nashville wild card 2, each team with 53 points. And oh, by the way, nice head-to-head matchup coming up here very soon. It is St. Louis on the outside looking in 3 points back, then Arizona 4 points back. So for the Nashville Predators, looking to keep the Central Division chase pack off of them right now is of critical importance, and that's exactly what they were able to do in this most recent game against the Minnesota Wild. Now, for the Nashville Predators, I mentioned second of 3 games on the road. The third game will take place Monday night in Ottawa. First time the Nashville Predators will face off against the Sens this year. Back home on Wednesday to face off against the LA Kings. And then time to take a short break. That's also the end of January, so we will pick things back up on February the 10th versus the Arizona Coyotes, on February the 13th versus the New Jersey Devils, then on February the 15th versus the Dallas Stars. So a big 3-game homestand coming out of the break. For the Nashville Predators and the Edmonton Oilers, which is the next game for the Preds. This will be the third and final regular season meeting, and it is very much possible that these two teams could find themselves in a best of 7 come springtime, which is much closer than you might think at this point. Let's go back to October the 17th, which is when the Oilers were in Nashville and absolutely wiped the Preds out of their own rink in this game back in October. It was a 6-1 victory for the Oilers. UC Saros had to be pulled after giving up 4 goals, only going 7 out of 11. He does take the loss. Lankinen came in and put up respectable numbers the rest of the way, 17 out of 19, but still gave up 2 goals. Tommy Novak scored the only goal for the Preds, and this is going to take a while to go through all the Oilers scoring, but it was Draisaitl that did most of the damage. 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. Hyman also had 4 points. Nugent Hopkins had 3 points. McDavid had 2 points in that game. Just an incredible offensive onslaught by the Edmonton Oilers. It was Campbell picking up the victory, 43 out of 44 against the Nashville Predators, one of the very, very few that he was able to pick up for the Oilers. And it was on November the 4th when the Preds went into Edmonton for the first time this season and secured a 5-2 victory. It was Lankinen getting the start, picking up the victory, going 33 out of 35. So Lankinen played in the first 2 games now. That will leave some decision-making for Andrew Brunette. O'Reilly had 3 goals and an assist for 4 points in that game in Edmonton. Tommy Novak had a goal and assist for 2 points. Philip Forsberg also chipped in with 3 points. Campbell got the start in that game against the Preds as well. Took the loss in that one. 29 out of 34. It was Hyman and Nurse scoring the goals for the Edmonton Oilers. So the Preds, going into the third meeting of the season against the Edmonton Oilers, have a 1-1 record. They've lost on home ice and they've won on the road. This third meeting of the season is taking place on the road. They've secured 2 out of 4 points on the season. They've been outscored 8-6 by Edmonton. Believe me, that all looks and sounds a whole hell of a lot better than after that first game when Draisaitl and the Oilers wiped the Preds out of their own rink 6-1. Now, let's take a look at the Edmonton Oilers. Then we'll take a look at the individual matchup. The Oilers are, without a doubt, the single hottest team in the National Hockey League right now. They have won 15 consecutive games, and they are winning with ease as of late. Their overall record on the season is 28-15-1. 57 points has brought them from near the basement of the Pacific Division and a bit of a laughing stock just a few weeks ago to third in the Pacific and currently occupying an automatic qualifying playoff spot. On home ice, the Edmonton Oilers are 15-6-1, one of those losses being to the Nashville Predators. They've scored 156 goals. That's not much of a surprise. They've given up 123, a goal differential of plus 33. Once they got the goaltending situation worked out, the numbers have certainly gone in a great direction for this Oilers team. Now, I'm not going to go back and recap all 15 consecutive games in this current winning streak, but I will do one-third of that. I'll go back and talk about the previous 5 for the Oil. On the January the 16th, it was a 4-2 win versus Toronto. On the 18th of January, 4-2 win versus Seattle. Go on the road and defeat the rival Calgary Flames 3-1 on the 20th of January. Come on back home and beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-1 on the 23rd. And then most recently on the 25th of January, 3-0 win versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Pickard got the start, went 27 out of 27, earned the shutout. Now, taking a look inside the numbers, this is also not going to come as much of a surprise, but with this 15-game winning streak, the metrics and the rankings for the Oilers across the board have absolutely skyrocketed. They are trending in the right direction in every single way. The Nashville Predators are scoring 3.02 goals per game. That's 18th in the league this year. The Oilers are generating 3.5 goals per game. That is 4th. In the shots against, goals against category, 3.08 for Nashville is 16th. This is the first time this season we've seen the goals for and goals against metrics starting to really slip for the Nashville Predators, and the margin of error getting narrow as ever, but now being on the negative side. The goals against for Edmonton also impressive. 2.80 is 8th best in the NHL. Shots for Nashville, 30.8 is 16th. 34.1 shots on goal per game for the Oilers is 2nd best overall in the National Hockey League. In the shots against category, the Oilers not far behind that, 4th best in the league, giving up only 28 per game, while the Preds are giving up 30.2 per game. Their ranking is 15th. On the special teams, well, frankly, the Nashville Predators do not match up in either of these categories in any way. Let me give you the Preds numbers first. Power play, 19.8%. Conversion rate is 19th in the NHL. 33 scores on 167 opportunities, while the Edmonton Oilers are converting at 26.3%. That is 5th best in the NHL. 36 conversions on 137 power play opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Preds killing off 76.8% is 25th in the NHL. They were trending upwards for a while, but now have sunk in recent weeks back down to the 25th position. They've given up 36 power play goals against on the season. The Edmonton Oilers, 82.7% kill rate is 8th best in the league. 26 power play goals given up on the season, 10 less than the Nashville Predators. Of course, you're going to recognize all of the names when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers individual statistics, and it is not surprising one bit to see Connor McDavid leading the team in scoring, 19 goals, 44 assists, 63 points overall. Draisaitl, 22 goals, 32 assists, 54 points. Both of them torment the Nashville Predators. I know they torment everybody across the league, but they have a particular joy for tormenting the Nashville Predators and have very good careers so far against this Nashville team. Hyman, 29 goals on the season, 17 assists, 46 points. Bouchard, 11 and 31 for 42. Nugent Hopkins, 11 and 31 for 42. So the Edmonton Oilers' number 5 scorer would be the Nashville Predators' 2nd place in scoring. Over on the Nashville Predators side of things, Philip Forsberg back on the score sheet, 23 goals now on the season, 27 assists. That's an even 50 points, and those 50 points means he is 19th overall in the National Hockey League in scoring in total points. O'Reilly's at 17 goals and 25 assists for 42 points. The captain Roman Jossi's at 10 goals and 32 assists for 42 points. Nyquist, 12 and 25 for 37. Colton Sissons still at 12 and 12 for 24 points overall. Expected and anticipated goaltending matchup sees Skinner in net. I told you the Edmonton Oilers took them a little while, but they got things situated, and Skinner is putting up some impressive numbers this season. 22, 9-1, a 908 save percentage, a 2.49 goals against average, has 2 shutouts on the season. UC Saros, 19, 18, and 1, a 904 save percentage, 2.91 goals against average, 2 shutouts on the season as well. Those 19 wins represent 6th best in the National Hockey League for UC Saros, who is trending back in the good direction. That's got you all set up. This is a pivotal Western Conference playoff race matchup game. Yes, it's game 49 of the season for the Nashville Purrs, but the Edmonton Oilers began a 15-game win streak and coming from well outside the playoff picture to now being solidly in the playoff picture, well, they have displaced everyone else in the field by one position. So the Nashville Purrs, this is critical. They can win the season series. Currently 1-1 on the season. They've picked up 2 out of 4 points. They've been outscored 8-6. They haven't met since November the 4th. The Edmonton Oilers are certainly a much, much different team. That's going to get you all set up for the Nashville Purrs, the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday afternoon. We've got the Rebirth Sports full game recap coming up after this. We got to go back to Minnesota. We've got to find out what happened on the ice there. Back after this.